So today we are not talking about books, but we are going to be talking about booktubers, since I wanted to do a little round of shout outs for some new channels that I've recently been introduced to through my subscription box. So if you do not have a YouTube channel, there's this thing called YouTube Creator Studio, which shows you a bunch of behind the scene analytics, how many people are watching your videos, when they're watching, when they're online, what other types of videos they're watching, impressions, SEO, a bunch of things that I frankly don't know how to read. But I recently discovered that I can actually see who's subscribed to my channel if they have some feature on that lets me see them. So I was scrolling through there trying to find some new channels to watch, and I found that there are some folks whose content I had been enjoying that I did not realize were already subscribed to me, which was a kind of a fun surprise. And so I actually haven't looked at this list in a minute, so if these people are no longer subscribed to me, oh well, I've still found them anyway, so now they're mine. But I just wanted to shout them out because I really like their content, and I thought it was just fun. I just haven't seen a video like this yet where someone goes to their subscriber list and kind of talks about things that they like about other people's videos. So the first person I want to talk about is Priscilla from the channel Bookie Charm. So I first discovered her channel when I was looking for videos on Dominicana by Angie Cruz, which was one of my favorite books that I read last year. I talked about Dominicana in my very first booktube video ever, and it was pretty much like the impetus for me starting my channel. I'd wanted to start this channel for a while, but having that book and feeling like I had nobody to talk to about it, that just kind of sent me down the YouTube rabbit hole. Something I really enjoy about that video is that while there are many immigrant stories, Dominicana is very much a woman's story, and I really appreciated the way Priscilla talked about the specific nuances that I don't want to say only, the specific nuances that if you are not Latina, you may not get in terms of machismo, in terms of the interpersonal relationships between men and women in many Latin American countries, and how even maybe if you consider it a traditional immigrant story, how much it's going to vary when it's a man moving to a different country of their own volition versus a woman who is not given that choice. So I would highly recommend that video. The next video that got me kind of pulled into her channel was she actually recited a poem from one of my favorite poets. She did a video reciting the poem Love Letter from a Toothbrush to a Bicycle Tire by Sarah Kay. I could do a entire 6-part documentary on my love for Sarah Kay. She was one of the first spoken word poets that I was ever introduced to just by watching old episodes of Def Poetry Slam on YouTube, back in the day, uploaded with 240p, if that. And I actually recited a Sarah Kay poem, the one If I Should Have a Daughter, for a talent show. Ended up winning some money in second place. So, Sarah's poems can make even the most unprofessional people sound great. And it was just really fun to hear her recite this poem. So I actually hadn't listened to or read any of Sarah Kay's poetry in a while. So that was a nice introduction. And the last video from her channel that I would recommend and kind of really got me invested in her content was, of course, a video about children's picture books. She has multiple videos about Latinx picture book recommendations that I'm not trying to buy books this year, but I have several on my list now because of that video. And it's just always so nice and refreshing to me to see other adults, and I don't know if she has children or not, but just other adults, period, enjoying children's picture books, the stories, the images, the illustrations, the messages, it's just pure serotonin. I don't understand why more people don't read children's picture books. So of course she has tons more videos, but those were the 3 that I was like, yes, okay, we're in it. And so I would definitely recommend checking out Priscilla at Bookie Charm. The second channel I want to recommend is Maya with an I. And actually the first video that I stumbled across of hers wasn't a booktube video, but it was the type of video that I wish I had made, and I absolutely loved it. It's called Dear Friend, and I don't want to spoil it for you, but the framing device is that she is writing a letter to a friend, looking back on the past year, looking back on 2020, and sharing the moments that she was able to find joy and find peace. It's a short little video. I think it's a beautiful time capsule. It is so soothing and personal. And as I said, it's something that I wish I would have done. It's something I wish I could have done. I love the concept of it. I'm someone who is I don't consistently journal, but I constantly journal, if that makes sense. I have stacks and stacks of books with entries and thoughts and poems and notes from when I was literally a child to all the way till now. And this seemed like a video essay form of that. that, and I just really, really enjoyed it. So the first bookish video of hers that I watched was the Black History Month book tag, which of course was created by Helene over at Books by Lane. So I'll leave all those links in the description. And it was just a lot of fun. There were some books on there that I absolutely agreed with, that were on my list, some authors I was really familiar with, but also some books and authors I had not heard of yet. So again, adding more things to my eventual to buy list once this year is over. But it was a lot of fun. I think you got to see more of her personality in this video than perhaps the Dear Friend one, because that one she kind of had, you know, that kind of like background narrator thing. And she has this really kind of calming, chill personality that I enjoy. And of course, I just love that tag. So I thought that was a great way to get to know her. And the third video of hers that I would recommend is one of her talk and twist videos. She actually has a number of them. And of course, as a woman with the hair that I have, I completely understand wanting to multitask when you're doing your hair, whether it's making a video or watching a video. But what I liked about this more chatty long form video is that you got to kind of hear more of her perspectives and her opinions on a variety of booktube topics. And I don't remember if the one I watched was like episode 1 or episode 2. I'll put it up on the screen, but I really, really resonated with a lot of what she said in terms of booktube and subscribers and the type of content you make and finding your place in the community. It was just, it was really nice to hear someone kind of say the quiet part out loud on some parts. And it was also nice to hear someone talk about what they value about like their platform and their channel in a way that wasn't directly related to becoming as big as popular, as big as possible, or as popular as possible. This is on me. Like I know as a viewer, I need to be more strategic about who I'm watching and who I'm not, because I'm starting to get more pulled into folks I'm finding who are spending more time than I am comfortable hearing about, talking about why aren't they getting this engagement? Why aren't they getting the subscribers? I'm not going to read this anymore because all guys were calling me out. I'm not going to do this anymore. Like I think I need to like go through and cull my subscriber list because I'm not really resonating with some of the comments some of the booktubers I'm currently watching are making. So when I came across this video and it just seemed really down to earth and grounded and being, this is things I like, these are things that I don't like, here's how I'm working through it, here's what I'm excited about. It was really nice. It was really, really refreshing. So I would definitely recommend checking out Maya with an I. And the final channel that I want to recommend that I learned about through my subscriber list is Kat Reads a Lot. So this channel is run by a woman named Katya, and the first video of hers that I watched was actually the anti-TBR tag. Now this is interesting because I know some people prefer to watch YouTubers with whom they tend to agree about everything. I know some people watch YouTubers solely for entertainment. The reason this video drew me into her channel is because like 9 out of the 10 books that she would talk about, I either completely disagreed or 100% agreed. Like there was like, I had so few moments of like, oh, I don't know that book, or oh, that scene's fine. Like I was like on polar opposites no matter what she was saying. And I found that really fun. I found that really interesting. It made me want to watch another one of her videos. And the next one I watched was actually her 1,000 subscriber Q&A. Now, normally, I'm not super big on Q&A videos unless it's someone that I've been watching for a long time. But in the title of her Q&A video, she talks about BookTube and the Disney College program and a bunch of different things that I found interesting. And watching that video immediately after watching a video in which I felt like I was learning very quickly what her preferences were and what they weren't. It was a really nice pairing. So I don't normally recommend Q&A videos, but I really enjoyed that one. And I felt that as someone new to her channel, I got a lot of great context around what she likes, what she doesn't like, what types of genres she's interested in, and also just like her general demeanor, her cadence, the way she speaks. And that got me invested in watching a third video. So I actually had a different video on this list because I wrote this list a while ago. And then she released a few days ago to the point of me filming this, a video called My Life in Books. And I loved it. When I tell you she was like dragging the memories out of me when she was bringing back the Gail Carson Levine, she was bringing back the Junie B. Jones, like basically she went through various points in her childhood, like I don't know, like 3 to 6, and then elementary school, then middle school, then high school, and talked about the books that really were important to her then, the books she really loved reading. I love the concept on its own, but I also love the fact that I had genuinely forgotten about so many of the books and authors and series that she had mentioned, and it really made me think like, in 20 years, without this channel in 20 years, am I going to forget what was important to me in my mid-20s? Am I going to forget who my favorite authors were? Now at this point, it feels impossible to me that I could ever forget about Octavia Estelle Butler. But there was a point where I was, consuming Sarah Dessen books like candy, and I had completely forgotten that Sarah Dessen existed until she made this video. So I really enjoyed this video. I was definitely the audience for it. I really liked the concept, and it was a lot of fun. So I would absolutely recommend Katya at Caught Reads a Lot. So to do a quick recap, I would absolutely recommend checking out Priscilla at Bookie Charm, Maya at Maya with an I, and Katya at Caught Reads a Lot. These are just a few of the people who I've been introduced to through my subscription box. There are many other channels I've been watching and experimenting with, but I just wanted to kind of start with some of my favorites that kind of immediately went on my own subscriber list. So I hope that you check them out. I hope that you find them interesting, and I hope that if you're someone like me who's kind of in a process of reevaluating my subscription box and trying to be really candid with myself about what type of content I want to be routinely exposing myself to, that you might consider checking them out. And as always, I hope you have a good day. Bye.